Speaker, is there anything more valuable, more sacred than life itself?
But our politicians don't want to talk about it. We will. Euthanasia.
The push is on once again to allow murder in Canada under the guise of terms like euthanasia and assisted suicide.
Some Canadian doctors want their government to decriminalise euthanasia.
Australian governments have been grappling with the legal and moral challenge of euthanasia.
Life's all about choices. Like I chose to go to uni and study engineering. While I was there, I chose to drink and generally have a bloody good time. I chose to marry Tina, have 2 great kids. I chose to always drive a Ford. Chose this shirt. Even chose this haircut. What I didn't choose was being terminally ill. I didn't choose to starve to death because eating is like swallowing razor blades. And I certainly didn't choose to have to watch my family go through it with me. I've made my final choice. I just need the government to listen.
If you were faced with a terminal illness that would lead to pain and suffering, would you want the option to choose a more peaceful death? Anyone who has ever had to witness a loved one suffer would be more likely to use the death with dignity argument. This hypothesis states that people who have witnessed others suffer are more likely to choose euthanasia as a viable option. Ultimately, individuals should have the right to decide life or death when it comes to terminal illness.
Passive euthanasia. Advancing the death of a person by altering some form of support and letting nature take its course. There are at least 3 necessary conditions for the occurrence of passive euthanasia. 1. There is a withdrawing or withholding of life-prolonging treatment. 2. The main purpose of this withdrawing or withholding is to bring about the patient's death. And 3. The reason to grant death is in the patient's best interest. Active euthanasia is when someone other than the patient commits an action with the intent to end a person's life, for example a physician administering lethal medication. This view is less morally accepted since a life is taken by deliberate action rather than performing necessary treatments. Someone not only makes the means of death available but also serves as a direct agent of death.
Non-voluntary euthanasia is used to describe the killing of a person who has not explicitly requested aid in dying. This term is often used with respect to patients who are in a vegetative state or who will never regain consciousness, such as in a coma. Involuntary euthanasia is quite different. This is the act to kill someone against their wishes to live. This type of euthanasia is generally never supported. An example of this would be if an individual was in excruciating pain and a family member saw fit for them to end it. However, the individual was too weak to stop the process and still desired the will to live.
According to the World Values Survey, the Netherlands show the highest support towards euthanasia, with 71% of the population favoring euthanasia. In Canada, more than half of the population supports euthanasia, but yet it is still considered an illegal practice. In countries with strong religious beliefs such as the Islamic faith will not appear on the chart, as they do not support any form of killing regardless of the circumstance.
Robert Latimer, Canadian canola farmer, father of 3, and convicted of second-degree murder. In 1993, he ended the life of his severely disabled daughter, Tracy. Never before has Canadian law and Canadian morality ever been so conflicted. Overwhelmingly, the Canadian public supported Latimer's decision.
I continually say I'm right, I was right, and what I did was right.
But in his battle between law and morality, the law won.
Overwhelmingly, Canadian public opinion believed that Latimer was a loving father and killed his daughter, Tracy, ended her life because he wanted to end her suffering. That was also overwhelmingly the verdict of the jury and of the judge who heard all the evidence, that this was truly a mercy killing.